I've got a big giveaway coming out for the end of the year that you're not going to want to miss. So make sure you've got notifications on. You don't want to sleep on this. And yeah, let's jump into the video. What's up, guys? This is Valentina with Bigger Creations, and today we're gonna make a new beat. I think today I want to make something that kind of has like Ariana Grande vibes. Yeah. One of my objectives with this beat today is to try to use as many stock sounds as possible when it comes to the instruments.
As many stock sounds as possible.
12 seconds later.
I know I said I want to start with like stock sounds, but I actually found this sound in Addictive Keys that I really like. I think I'm still going to use like drum samples from Splice because why not? It's called Industrial Pad, and that's what I'm going to start with. And I've got this chord progression that I laid out. So I staggered the notes just so it kind of felt more of like some movement rather than just like the straight up chords. So I think this is what I'm going to base the beat off of. And let's see what else I can find here. So I'm going to look for some pads. Okay, so I found this stock pad under strings. It's called Smooth and Gentle. I haven't really changed anything on the sound, and this is what it sounds like with the Addictive Key sound. So it's sounding pretty good. There's a couple things I want to do here. I want to add some texture. In my mind, I hear these like strings, like plucky strings, arpeggiating the same chord progression. So let me see if I can find a sound that does that, and we'll go from there. So here's some texture. If you go into synthesizers, then pad, and it's called Granular Box. So like I said, I wanted this kind of like arpeggiated sound. And so rather than adding an arpeggiator in the MIDI tools, I went and looked at the stock instruments that are already arpeggiated inside of Logic. So I went to arpeggiator, went to acoustic, and then I found one for strings. And the cool thing about the arpeggiator, if you don't know what that is basically it creates a sequence of notes or a pattern of notes within the chords that you've indicated in your MIDI file. So it's pretty much using your chords to make some sort of melody or rhythm. So this is what it came out with, and I really, really like it. But notice how the sound selection makes a huge difference. So I found these romance strings. If you just go to orchestral strings and then romance strings, and they kind of already like have this trill type of sound where it just like goes in and out. And so I really like that sound. So this is what they sound like. And then we add the strings. And then with all the pads. I can just really feel the beat hitting hard right there. Like that's what's gonna lead up to the drop, and it's gonna be super dope. Now, before I work on the drums, I want some variation in how the verses sound. So I found this classical guitar sound. It's just under guitar and then classical acoustic guitar. So this is what that sounds like combined with one of the pads. I think it's going to sound really cool for the verse, especially once we bring the 808 in there. So let me start with the drums, get that pattern in there, and then we'll drop the 808. Now for the drums, I'm going to be using my iPad using the Logic Pro Remote. And I'm going to be honest, this is brand new, so I've only used this a few times, but I absolutely love it so far. I will be doing a separate video talking about how this works and why I like it and what I don't like about it, or you know, just giving my opinion on it. But so far, I absolutely love it because, you know, it ends up costing about the same as getting like a machine or some sort of other MIDI controller. Your iPad has more than just the use of using it to control Logic. In the latest updates, Logic has done a really, really good job at updating their remote to increase just like functionality and mixing between your iPad and using that as a controller. So I really love it. I'm going to be using it to put down the drums on this track. Let's add some drums. Okay, so I drew in some snares, just slightly different sounds, and this is what it sounds like. Really subtle, but I think it helps with the groove. And then let's add some hi-hats. So what I did with the hi-hats is I drew out the pattern, and then you'll notice here that the velocity is different on almost every other hi-hat. And the reason I did that was just kind of to have it have a little bit more of a, I guess, human type sound, like if it could actually be played by someone. Because a drum player would probably be emphasizing certain hi-hat notes, not every single one like a robot, at the consistent velocity or volume. So for example, these that are more orange are at 100% or 100 velocity, and then the ones that are more teal are at about 57. So this is what it sounds like. So it just sounds a little bit more natural. So I think that's it for the drums. Time to add the 808. Almost all of the drums that I'm using here are from the OS kit Need Love from the R&B Soul category in Splice. And I'm going to be using one of their 808s here. So I put that into a sampler, and this is the 808 pattern. Okay, so I think I'm done with the drums and the 808 for now. So I got a hold of this plugin that helps you come up with melodies, and I think I'm going to use it to create a secondary or counter melody in the second verse just to add some variety. I don't want it to be super busy because I feel like Ariana Grande's songs, the vocals really carry the song rhythmically. So I don't want to get too busy with the beat, but I'm going to add some subtle counter melodies, and I'm going to use this new plugin. So before I show you guys that, let me show you what the arrangement sounds like, and that way you can kind of get an idea of how that fits into the beat. Okay, so the second verse is going to be really similar to this first verse, but I feel like just to make it a little different, I've dropped out this extra pad behind the guitar in the second verse, and then I've added a counter melody. Now, this is the plugin that I'm talking about. It's called Melody Sauce. Melody Sauce reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to test out this plugin? It's basically a way to create melodies, and would you be interested in sharing it in a video? So to be completely honest with you, I said, yeah, sure, send it my way. I want to check it out, see what it's like. And that's what I'm testing out here in this beat. They're not paying me to like have a specific opinion on this. So I'm going to show you exactly what my experience has been with it. And then at that point, you can decide if that's something that would help you in your workflow or not. So let's take a look. So basically, How it works is once you've installed Melody Sauce, you add it here as one of your MIDI functions. So it will show up here under Audio Units, Eva Beat, and then Melody Sauce. Once you have it in there, this is what the interface looks like. So essentially, you can choose the key of your song. You can choose if you want the melody to be slow or fast. You can choose the octave you want it to be in. You can choose if you want it to swing with the beat, to have triplets, or to be syncopated with the beat. And then essentially this middle part is where you actually select the melody or create the melody that you're creating based off this criteria. So if you go obviously to the left, it's more simple, then middle is complex. To the right, it's a combination of simple and complex elements into the melody. Same here on the left side, from light to dark to both. So basically all you have to do is once you've set it up how you want it, you just tap on a pad. So let's say I want a complex and dark melody. I'm going to click on this, and it has now added a melody to my melody bank. And here you can choose if you want to switch it back to light or dark, if you want to harmonize it, if you want the notes to be legato or staccato. And so once you have them here in your melody bank, all you have to do is drag it to the track that you want to use. So for example, let's move it to the guitar here so you can kind of get a feel for what it's doing. And then let's say I want to do something simple and dark. And let's bring that in here. Let's see what that sounds like. Just by looking through this interface and seeing what comes out, it's completely randomized and fit to the scale. So the possibilities are pretty much endless on how many different melodies you can come up with Melody Sauce. The best thing about it is that it's all done into MIDI files, so you can completely change the melody. If there's just like one note that you don't like, or you want to make sure that you have the right sound that's playing this melody, you're not tied down to an audio file. It's all MIDI files. So you can pretty much use this melody for whatever you want, whatever instrument. I could really see this coming handy if you have an artist in the studio and maybe you don't have a lot of creativity juices happening and you just need a quick melody to lay down that might generate some inspiration. This is a great tool to have in your arsenal for those kinds of scenarios. So what I decided to do here for this beat, like I said, I wanted to be really subtle on adding just a little bit of change in that second verse because I feel like the vocals are going to end up carrying this song. So I went with the smooth and gentle pad, and I created this melody in Melody Sauce, and this is what it sounds like. I didn't have to change a single note. Like, this is exactly what came out of Melody Sauce. And I think it works perfect and completely complements that second verse, adds a little bit of variety without making it feel like it's totally different because, like I said, the vocals are really going to carry this track because it's kind of an Ariana Grande style track. So if you think that that's something that would be helpful for your arsenal, something that you want to experiment with, check out the link in the description. The first 50 people to use the link in the description with the discount code will get 10% off of Melody Sauce. So I know in every single video, I typically add vocals and show you the final product. I'm not going to do it for this video because I think I'm going to create a different video where I talk about how I come up with vocal melodies. So I'm going to hold off on that. If you want to see that in the future, let me know in the comments. Hit that like button so I know you like this video and you want me to add some vocals to it. And that's pretty much it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and that you've got notifications on because in the next few days, I'm going to be releasing a big giveaway to thank you guys for subscribing. Make sure you've got notifications on so that you don't miss it. Don't sleep on this. There's going to be a lot of cool things in the giveaway. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos and subscribing. As always, if you ever have any questions or want to see more content, check me out on Instagram. Keep making beats.